You think you know someone. You believe in love, in trust, in loyalty. But what happens when a person you loved turns everything that you shared into a weapon? What if your pain, your heartbreak, becomes the story they tell about you? They leave you, vanish without a trace, but their words follow you. They distort the truth, twist your reality, and launch a smear campaign that paints you as the villain. And you're left wondering, what did I do wrong? Was it all a lie? This is the truth about narcissists and why they will stop at nothing to destroy your reputation, even after they've walked away. A smear campaign is the deliberate effort to damage a person's reputation. It's a calculated attack that is meant to spread lies, distort the truth, and create a false narrative about somebody, often with the goal of making them look bad, crazy, or untrustworthy. In the case of narcissists, these smear campaigns are not just about hurting somebody emotionally. They're about maintaining control, protecting their fragile ego, and keeping their carefully crafted image intact. Narcissists engage in smear campaigns after discarding a partner or a victim because they need to ensure that the world sees them as the good guy. They can't afford for anyone to see the truth, that they were the ones that were manipulative, deceitful, among other things. Instead, they turn the tables, blaming their victim and painting them as the problem. By launching a smear campaign, the narcissist shifts the blame away from themselves, deflects any responsibility, and controls the narrative, often at any cost, even if it means destroying somebody else's reputation in the process. Narcissists thrive on control. It's not just a preference, it's a need they have. When they lose control over someone they have discarded, they often lash out in the form of a smear campaign. This is their way of neutralizing their ex's ability to expose them, damage their carefully created image, and hold them accountable for their actions. By smearing the ex, the narcissist hopes to keep their reputation intact while shifting all of the blame away from themselves. But this behavior isn't just all about control. It's about self-preservation. Narcs are incredibly fragile when it comes to their self-esteem, I'm sure you know. Beneath the grandiose persona that they project lies a deep fear of being exposed as flawed or imperfect. So to protect this image, they need to paint their ex as the bad guy. It's a classic deflection tactic meant to distract other people from the narcissist's own shortcomings. In some cases, narcissists go even further with this by using triangulation. They spread rumors to friends or family, or even to new partners, in order to create division and pit people against each other. This isolates the victim, making them feel misunderstood, and it heightens their emotional turmoil. It's all part of the narc strategy to control the narrative and prevent anyone else from questioning their behavior. And one of the first things a narcissist will do in a smear campaign is distort the reality. They twist and pervert the facts in extreme ways, turning the victim into someone unstable, crazy, abusive. Narcissists exaggerate certain events or leave out key details or just outright fabricate stories to create an entirely false version of events. For example, a narcissist might say that you were always really paranoid. You were the one that was abusive, and they were just too nice to try to fight back. These exaggerations aim to make you appear irrational and dangerous, even though the reality is very, very different. Another tactic that is commonly used by narcissists is, of course, gaslighting, a manipulative technique where the narcissist makes the victim question their own perception of reality. Narcs will deny things they said or did, twist things around, and make the victim feel as if they are the one losing their minds. And a very typical gaslighting statement might be something along the lines of, "I never said that. You're imagining things." Over time, this constant distortion can cause you to doubt your own memories, maybe even your sanity. We have to talk about this, they also excel at playing the victim. They frame themselves as the innocent one in the relationship. They didn't know any better, the one who just gosh darn tried their best, but they were pushed to their limits. And they might claim certain things like that they tried to make everything work, but you were the one who kept making things difficult and you just pushed them too far. By doing this, they cast themselves as, of course, the martyr and the victim, while blaming the other person, you, for the failure of the relationship. And, of course, blame shifting, a hallmark of narcissistic behavior. They will never take responsibility for their own actions. Instead, they accuse the ex of being abusive or emotionally needy and mentally unstable. For example, you might hear them say something like, "You were always so demanding and you never appreciated anything that I did for you. You're so unappreciative. You're so ungrateful." And this tactic is designed to keep the narcissist from having to confront their own faults and place the blame on somebody else because they are not going to take the hit on that. I know that it's very difficult to do. Healing from a narcissistic relationship can leave you feeling lost, drained, of course, and questioning everything you thought you knew about yourself. But here's the thing, you don't have to face this journey alone. I've been there too. For over 6 years, I've been studying narcissism, but not only that, I have lived through it. And that's why I'm offering flexible, casual chats where we can talk through what you're dealing with. No judgment, just real, honest conversations. Think of it less like a therapy session and more like a heart-to-heart with someone who truly understands. Whether you need a listening ear, practical advice, or just someone who knows exactly what you're experiencing, I'm here for you. I want to share what I've learned and help you take some steps to move forward towards healing. If you're ready to talk and get the support you deserve, reach out anytime. My contact info is on the screen for you now, and I would love to connect with you soon. A key part of the smear campaign is the narcissist's need to protect their own image. And to do this, they label their exes as crazy, toxic, and unstable. This shows the narcissist as being the rational one, the one who's so calm and emotionally stable, while it shifts the responsibility for the relationship falling apart onto the ex. By doing so, the narc can secure their position as the good guy in the eyes of other people. Projection is a huge strategy that narcs often employ. They are masters of deflecting their own faults and just pushing them right onto other people. For example, if the narcissist was unfaithful, they might accuse you of being the one that was paranoid about cheating. They might say something along the lines of, "I don't know what their problem was. They were always accusing me of cheating, even though they were the ones who were absolutely cheating." And this shifts the focus onto the ex's supposed behavior, completely jumping over the wrongdoing of the narcissist. The victim of a narc's smear campaign can experience a range of emotional turmoil. It's common to feel confused, of course, hurt, and invalidated, especially when the lies that are being spread around are so extreme. The manipulation can be overwhelming, and the victim might find themselves really thinking about, like, what the hell happened in the relationship? Narcs' words can certainly cut deep, and it can be hard to separate the truth from the distorted narrative that's being shown. Isolation is another common effect of a smear campaign. If the narc has spread their lies to mutual friends, family, you might begin to feel abandoned or ostracized. The smear campaign can turn people against you, and it will leave you feeling alone and unsupported during one of the most difficult times in your life. The emotional toll of the isolation can be devastating. The constant gaslighting will also have you questioning things. As the lies pile up and the narc continues to manipulate reality, you can start to even believe the false narrative that's being spun. Over time, you might actually begin to doubt everything. So let's talk about some things that a narc says during the smear campaign. They might say something like, "Oh my God, I had to get out of there. They were just obsessed with me. I couldn't get away from them." They might say something like, "I gave this person everything, so ungrateful, just never appreciated anything." They might say things like, "I didn't know what to do. They were so unstable, having emotional outbursts. They must be bipolar or something. I don't know what their problem was." Or something like, "They kept trying to manipulate me into staying, even though I said I was done, and I don't like that. They're manipulative and controlling." or something else that might be said, they were always paranoid and accusing me of things I didn't do. I wasn't the cheater, they were the cheater. They were always so paranoid and always wanting to talk about it. They could also say something along the lines of, well, I didn't really want to leave, but, they just pushed me too far and I couldn't deal with it anymore. And these statements are all designed to show the narcissist as the victim and the ex as the problem. They twist that reality of the relationship and make it seem as if the narcissist was the one who was wronged rather than the other way around. If you find yourself the target of a narc's smear campaign, there are a few important things to keep in mind. First and foremost, stay calm. Narcs are looking to provoke an emotional response because it actually reinforces the narrative that you're unstable or irrational. Reacting emotionally is really only going to fuel the story. It's best to remain as composed as you possibly can and not engage in the drama. Also, set boundaries. Limit, of course, or cut contact with the narc as much as possible. Don't allow them space to manipulate or control you any longer. You might feel the need to seek out support from trusted friends or family or even a therapist. Surround yourself with people who understand narcissism and can offer validation that's crucial to recovering from the emotional toll that all of this can take on you. Finally, document everything as much as you can. Keep records of interactions or instances of slander or anything else. Having evidence of what's being said and done can be helpful if the situation were to escalate and you need to, how do we say this nicely, defend yourself legally. So what do these smear campaigns really say about the narcissist? Well, really, when you boil it down at the core, it reveals insecurity and fear. Narcs smear their exes because they fear losing power, control, and that little perfect image that they have so carefully curated. A smear campaign is also a defense mechanism. They're going to try to protect their self-image at all costs. Again, even if it means hurting someone else and tearing them down in the process. A smear campaign also reflects projection and denial. By smearing the ex, the narc can hopefully avoid the confrontation. By smearing their ex, the narcissist hopes to avoid confronting their own issues, flaws, and everything they do wrong. Instead, they deflect the blame. They lie, all in an effort to maintain their fragile sense of superiority. Understanding a narc's playbook is really key to dealing with these situations. The more you understand how a narcissist operates, the more empowered you are in handling a smear campaign and ultimately recovering from it. Thank you so much for listening today. Please like the video if you found it informative or helpful. Make sure you subscribe for more videos on narcissism, mental health, and healing. Have a great day, survivor, and take care of yourself.